for which is under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I do this. Bill, I'm gonna sign on my iPad just so we have the camera.
Okay, sounds good.
Recording in progress.
I'll turn the volume off.
Turn your microphone.
Recording in progress.
Can you mute me? I'm just gonna disconnect audio. Oh, okay. Did it disconnect?
Yes.
This one?
Recording in progress.
No, this is just the- it's all blurry. Oh, yours is I hear space music. Okay. I hear space music. Oh, that was perfect. Yeah, I know.
What link did you? The link that Bill sent me. Yeah.
That's not Chris, it's Dave.
Okay, so everybody's muted now, but we can't hear what's going on in the meeting or see what's going on in the meeting.
Bill, Michelle's come in. She's helping get the camera set up. She's probably the only one that really knows what's going on here.
Okay, I just resent the link to her.
I don't know if you can see. Can you guys see anything? Bill, can you see anything from this one?
No, the facilities iPad, I guess, or whatever, just kicked off.
Yeah, she's putting it back on.
Okay.
I'm on the Zoom here, yes. Yes.
So to the members of the public that are currently tuned in to watch, we're having some technical difficulties. They're trying to set up a camera to view and watch the meeting.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, is Chris still here? Because we couldn't.
I'm still here, yeah.
Hi, okay, so we'll just start it like this.
Perfect.
Okay. If you need anything repeated, Chris, just tell me, okay?
Okay, thanks. I can hear you clearly right now.
Perfect. Okay. So first thing, approval of the 10/13/21 minutes.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the minutes from October 13th, 2021.
I'm gonna turn the volume down in here.
Chris, can you second that?
I'll second that motion, yes.
Okay, motion approved. Wait, motion approved.
Did you hear him?
Yeah, he seconded it.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay, so Chris, introduction to new board members. I guess I'll do you first. Chris, so that, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So do you want to introduce yourself to,
Yeah, sure. My name's Chris Badecki. I'm a new board member and happy to be here and part of this committee and looking forward to, working with the committee members and getting all these important things done.
thank you. I'm Lisa Newland. I'm obviously new to this committee and new to the board. And I'm excited to work with all of you.
All right, Lisa,
Oh, so I
can
can turn this off?
yeah, can you,
There we go. Hold on, let me mute.
Okay. So you don't need this anymore? I'll just leave it on case. Okay. Middlebrook Riff?
just make sure everybody can hear. Bill, can you hear everybody? Yeah,
Yes, looking good. Thank you.
Middlebrook Riff.
Okay. I guess I'll address the committee. Middlebrook Roof, we had a meeting via Zoom with the state Administrative Services Office of School Construction Grant and Review last Wednesday, the 2nd. We spent approximately 4 hours on the Zoom meeting with the state architects that reviewed the drawings and specifications and other pertinent documents. And there were some revisions that were requested by the OSCGNR. I see that the architect, Mr. Paul Lisi, forwarded the responses on Tuesday. We have not heard back from the state as to acceptance of those comments and responses. We are awaiting that response back from the state, which will allow us to go to bid. So, the documents have been finalized, the review has been done by the state. I believe all we're doing now is waiting for that okay to go to bid. So we should be good to go within the next week, I would think.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's it on the Middlebrook Roof. Anybody else have any comments or questions about the roof? Okay, so we're gonna go on. Traffic problems on DFS during dismissal. I know Lucinda asked me to put this on the agenda, but I also have witnessed what's going on there. I think originally, if I remember correctly, the principal had asked them to go behind like Country Club Road, but I don't think they are. So there's still like a major problem over there.
We were told by the Department of Public Works here in the town that they would no longer be able to maintain that driveway that comes in from Challen Road because it does cross an inland wetlands area. So we've discontinued any use of it in plowing. We are working with the town engineer currently on potential design elements to try and alleviate the traffic that's on Daniels Farm Road in front of, I'm assuming we mean that in front of Daniels Farm School, not at Strobel.
Right. No, they're responsible.
We are, initial suggestions were a queuing area off to the shoulder of the road along Daniels Farm on the south side of the driveway in, changing the drop-off loop to another location so that we can get more buses into the queue on the site rather than waiting out in the street as well. So I'm kind of deferring right now to the town engineer to come up with some suggestions that I believe there is a capital item for Daniels Farm. Sorry, I didn't look it up right away. Yeah.
In the meantime, can they queue up on Country Club and then like access, because what they do is they go 20 minutes early. and they sit there and you have to literally go in oncoming traffic to get around it. So the question is, if they could queue up on Country Club and not on Daniels Farm Road, then when dismissal starts, maybe they can then pull up and pull into.
I would think all of these suggestions are great, but I think we need to have input from the Trumbull Police Department and how that would be managed.
Yeah,
We certainly don't have trained staff that could be out there directing traffic.
but right now it's like a head-on collision.
Yeah.
I understand that.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's the sitting, it's the cars, not the buses. It's the cars sitting to pick up or sitting on Daniels Farm. So if you're going north on Daniels Farm, you have to go, you're going into the southbound lane and the cars are coming down. They don't want you to, they're still coming. They're not gonna stop for you. So I'm just afraid there's gonna be major accidents over there.
We've had major accident there in the past, in 2018, and, pre-pandemic. So
Yeah.
I can imagine that the number of parent drop-off is even higher since the
Because
pandemic.
maybe because of the snow, they're not even outside, they're literally taking up
You
that
know,
whole
That's
northbound lane.
another issue as well.
Yeah,
So I'm working with the town on what a solution can be, but I think it's, we're gonna have to rely on their engineering to help solve this problem because.
because I know at the beginning, the principal had asked them to wait on Country Club, they're just kind of not. So I don't know how we do that. Yeah,
Okay.
okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're waiting. Maybe we can-
Well,
But you're talking to them about that, right? You are?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, active pending projects.
Okay, well, I think you provided a copy of our running facilities project list. We can kind of go through some of those if you'd like, unless there's specific questions that you'd like to address right away. There's quite a few projects that are still on here that are complete. Like the first one that kind of jumps out awaiting funding is the bathroom stalls.
Okay.
We did apply for $170,000 on our capital plan. We are before the Board of Finance tomorrow night to defend the request for this year's bonding.
That's smart.
Hopefully, these things make the cut. There's quite a few very old partitions in the bathrooms at most of the schools. They're rusted, they're broken, there's hinges missing, there's hardware missing. They're in really, really poor condition. So that's why we put it as a priority this year to get these things done. We'd be looking to do it over this summer, possibly into the next summer as well, because we have quite a few schools that need to be addressed. The concrete shades was last year's capital that has been completed.
Will you guys maintain this list, right?
Yes.
So like when I do the new sheet for new meetings, do you want me to take the completed ones off? Would that be easier?
We could, I left
You
it
don't
on
have
just
to.
for the benefit of
Okay.
the committees, just to see, what we had been working on.
Yeah.
But I think going forward, that's a great idea, to clean up the sheet quite a bit.
Because I think there's another one, there's a tab that says completed.
Yeah.
So I can just look at that.
The elevator at Jane Ryan, we awarded that to Eagle Elevator back in, I'm gonna say November. They, like most contractors and wholesalers, are having a hard time getting the parts. We were originally told that they would be receiving them by the end of January. That is now come and gone. The latest update we had from them was mid-April, right, John? Yeah.
Mid-April?
Yeah, so we're kind of, I hate to say this, but we're kind of at the mercy of the manufacturer being able to get it apart.
Yeah.
The drainage project, I have to defer to at Hill, excuse me. I know there's been some work, and I believe that the town engineer has retained an engineer to study that, and it's really a town engineer's project that they manage it. Cooling tower replacement at Frenchtown Elementary. We awarded that to Action Air. We pushed them off till the end of the heating season, beginning of the cooling season. So initially April 1st was our start date with them. I was contacted by the contractor last week. He wanted to see if he could get in there this week and do some measuring and potentially start demolition. The equipment's not being used as it pertains to the chiller and the air conditioning in the building is off at this point here. So we should have this project, the length of the project, once the cooling towers are there, is probably a 3 to 4 week project. So
So by the spring, like by the time it gets hot. it won't
but,
be
you know,
hot.
I'd say by mid-May, these cooling towers, you know, if
Pending supply chain issues.
if the equipment comes in on time, we should be able to have this project complete by mid-May. They were there yesterday, John's confirmed.
Okay, good.
I see you have it on here as well, the agri-science boilers.
Yeah,
We received bids. The bids were over budget to replace the 2 boilers that supply heat to the greenhouse and the 4 boilers that heat the entire building. We anticipating that we might see numbers that were above budget. We had the engineer put a deduct alternate in the bid so that we could award what we felt was the priority in the greenhouse boilers. I made the recommendation last week to Kevin Bover to go ahead and award. As a side note, I requested an additional $150,000 in this year's capital bond request that we can get right in there and continue the work. It may become a negotiation with the contractor. Now we have awarded without the house boilers, but my goal would be to try and get all what was 6 replaced, 4 new boilers put in at the same time, and not, you know, have to come back.
Dave, I know that the greenhouse boilers are very important because all the plants, and that's for their plant sale. Well, is that gonna be a problem getting those done?
Not to my understanding, that we made that the priority, so we awarded the greenhouse boilers at this
So
point.
that's gonna get
We'll
done.
probably have to negotiate the house boilers down the road.
Okay, because then the rest of them are for the heating the building.
Correct.
Okay, so just off the top of your head, what are we spending in agri-science just to maintain the building? If you had to say,
In what sense?
just
like the whole thing.
general maintenance of that whole building. What do you,
Boy, I hate being bad at guess at that. Can you give me a little bit of time to look at that?
yeah, I'm just thinking, because we're thinking, I'm looking at your list here and it says, where are you? Wait, I gotta find it. Ooh. Boiler replacements, 275,000. That's for the 2 or all 6?
That's for the 2.
Okay, see,
Well,
so that's just 2 boilers,
that
right?
was the capital authorization.
Right,
He awarded for $186,000 for the 2 greenhouse boilers.
Because
okay.
the whole thing
The
was over
entire
budget.
package was over 300,000.
Same.
337, I don't have the number in front of me.
Okay, that's just 2. And then you have to do the other 4.
No, that is, the 337 is the.
Is everything?
But we
Okay.
expect it may go up because we didn't award it at the time. of
At the time
award.
it should have.
Yeah,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Okay, there's that, and I know that you said, what are you postponing till? Here, the tile work and foundation, the foundation at the rear entrance of the sign, the last one.
Yeah.
You've got 65,596 there.
Yeah, we're looking at that as to what the solution will be there, because it's a little more than just, I know we replaced the floor tiles at the entry. It looks like there might be a settlement issue at that entry, the foundation.
Yes, it's imploding down there, yes.
And so right now, we don't have a design solution. We have a guess of what could be done. Unfortunately, and I'm gonna be guilty on this, it wasn't part of this year's capital plan request. It should have been. We're gonna try and work with the money that we have to try and get this done as soon as possible. Because we recognize it. Again, it just slipped off my radar, and I apologize for that.
No, that's okay. I just said that there's a lot of maintenance to agri-science. And if you had to say, are the sidewalks around okay?
Yes, I don't. Yeah, we have.
Sidewalks and the entrances coming in and out are okay. And now, do we maintain also the farm, right?
Yes.
So there's another little expense with the farm, correct?
Correct.
Mhm.
The students go on as well.
Okay. Do they fix fences? Do they paint? I don't think so.
In the past, actually, Lucinda, in the past, have set up little schedules for them, like over the summer, where we would make sure all the grass was cut low, with width down, and it's over the summer, taking section of that. But some of that fencing actually placement.
That's what I'm thinking.
So that's,
That is on this year's fund.
Okay, because you have, okay, because there are reasons that I'm thinking this too, so. I just want to get an overall number in my head of what that is, because I would say it's over $1 million
In
total
improvements that need to be done.
in improvements that need to be done, correct?
I think that may be a little high, but
with the
we can
boilers.
certainly look. Get-
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking just adding these up and then I know that I think the barn there, that needs to be painted. Where the alpacas are
The barns are
in
in bad shape.
the barns are in bad shape, yes. I mean, they have to be sanded.
The horse barn,
Right.
the llamas, they are pretty dilapidated.
That's my concern, like those are dilapidated. So all I'm saying, David, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. All I'm saying is there's so many other things that agri-science needs right now in order to keep it viable. And we want to make sure it doesn't go, down the tubes there. We have to make sure that we have enough to keep that going. And there's, I have reasons for that. Paul, we don't get money back from the state for that, correct? He said no, okay. That's what I was wondering. And I'm just wondering if that could ever be a request, Okay, thank you.
The Wellness Fitness Center at Trumbull High, and I think most people know we have a meeting, first meeting of the building committee that was just created by the town, approved by the town council. We're looking to meet on the 24th of February, I believe. We're just looking for confirmation of the venue because this room would be in use that day.
Yeah, they asked me, I said they should see if agri-science, the meeting room's open.
Yep, yep.
If, I told Kim to check on that could be a problem, problem to see if we can use that. That's right in Trumbull, and that's a big enough room.
It's been confirmed that.
That'll be,
We'll be on for
Oh, so we will be there, 24th at 4:30 there? Okay,
and that's the building committee,
that's our
the wellness.
yeah, the wellness center, okay. Thank you.
The cooling tower at Trumbull High, we did a little more of a Band-Aid type fix on it rather than trying to pull the towers, the cooling towers themselves off of the sump and replacing the sump. The cooling towers are probably going to be end of life in another 3 to 4 years, so we're going to just try and get by. We patched, we've done that. The contractor actually did a great job of patching that sump, so it's no longer leaking black hole. It's under control, and we think that it'll get us through to the end of life of the actual cooling. This is just like a big can that's underneath.
Now, where's that located?
On
Where?
the east side of the school.
That's a cooling tower.
Yeah.
Can I go back to the boiler? Does agri-science have heat right now? Is the boiler?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good, okay. And then somebody said something about the heat in the M wing, or is that just like, the heat's fine in the M wing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, I got like one,
As far as I know,
I directed them back to you to ask anyway, but
no, I
nobody
didn't.
did, that it might just be.
I haven't gotten any calls on it.
We
Okay,
haven't- Yeah, we
perfect.
haven't heard anything about lack of heat in the, the
It could have
regular.
been the person just.
Vehicle replacements, we bought a new backhoe, and that has been received and it's being used. Long Hill, we all know that they've done some work in the parking lot here. Well, the key thing was that they found that they had to connect the sanitary lines to the city instead of to the town system rather than out to a leach field that was out the field.
So spring is coming, this is going to be paved, amen.
Domestic hot water, we had a boiler go down, that's been replaced. No, we're waiting on it. Another one where we're waiting.
Where is that one?
These are hot water tanks, hot water
Right.
heaters.
At Trumbull High?
Trumbull High. There's two.
It's all
One is-
from behind, okay.
Yeah, one has been down for a while, we've been repairing it. That one has since
Well, you know what,
been gone.
after the second repair, you gotta just dump it.
Right, so.
And why, because you're spending good money after that on that.
So we have two hot water tanks there. One is not working, so we're running off of one.
Oh,
Both are gonna be replaced in February. And
This February, no,
Yeah.
oh, thank God.
So should be coming in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, good.
We're just gonna contract awarded for the work.
Oh, great. Okay, good, thank you.
Summer project, that's all been completed. Gym floor refinishing, again, that made it to the capital plan, for this year's bonding request. We're looking at Madison, Frenchtown, and Middlebrook, gym floors to do a complete strip, repaint the striping and reseal and refinish it. That'll really help them keep those floors from deteriorating any further. The concrete stairs at the bus depot is complete. The ramps at Trumbull High Portable, that's another one complete. Pretty much the rest of these are complete until we get to the next page, where we're looking at some asbestos abatement projects at Hillcrest and Madison. We just informed the abatement designer to prepare, that he's been contracted to prepare bid specification for us to replace the thermal insulation and all the pipe tunnels beneath the building. You know, that asbestos is more problematic because it is friable. There is some floor tiles that will need to be done in Madison. We're gonna work towards that, but that doesn't pose a threat to anyone. And then Middlebrook roof, we've already kind of talked about. Auditorium, we've talked about, we had a meeting recently. We're looking now at replacing the stage curtain if possible.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
The rigging that operates it is worn and they
Wow.
can't really operate the curtain properly. We met with Matthew
Rex, yeah.
and Randy. So they kind of gave us a list of things. We're also going to look at the house lighting there.
What about spotlights for them?
We were talking about the spotlights being put up on platforms. in the
Yes,
back
so-
of-
Something to get those scaffoldings off the rug.
Their comment to us was that they don't get used a lot, if ever.
Yeah, they do get used because when they have a play and there's all those people in there and you've got wires going across, people are going over them. I'm just afraid that someone's gonna trip. So I've been asking for this for 6 years now, that to get those spotlights up where it's controlled by that little booth that they have and they can move them and do whatever they need to do. But we need to get those out of there. They're also pulling the rug. So every time you move the scaffolding, it rips the rug up. We just replaced that rug after the water damage, John. When was that water damage? 18? Okay. So I just don't want to have to keep replacing the rug because that's a main entrance. Where those scaffoldings are held, it's right by the door. You come in the door and that's where one is, and then the other one's at the other side of the auditorium, at the door. So when people are exiting, those doors, those things are right there. So I'm just worried that there's just too much. Yeah, somebody could run in there, and a little kid could run into it. I just think they should be off the floor and up, even if they have to go up on a ledge, like that's a ledge over there, and they have to be on something like that, and just control it from the control booth. It just those spotlights need to go up, because they use them for every play. So, and that's when most people are in there. We don't use them, I should say, the administration doesn't use them when they have meetings for the kids in there or anything like that. During the school day, no, it's when the theater groups come in to use it. They're gonna need spotlights, and anytime you wanna put something on stage, then you're gonna use them. And if they do award ceremonies there, they did the graduation there for Hillcrest last year. So if you're gonna need them, put them up.
Yep.
Was that part of it?
Yes. it
Thank
was.
God. Okay, good. Thanks.
The feedback we got from administration at the school was they weren't necessary. We can certainly,
I don't know how they're not, then why do we have those scaffoldings there?
ask them, remove them from the room.
Then remove the scaffoldings. If you don't need them, then don't put spotlights at all. But if you're gonna use that big contraption on two sides,
Very unsafe.
It is.
Very unsafe.
and there's wires coming across all the time. So if you're walking behind there, you're walking over wire.
But I would check with the theater department, make sure, because I can't imagine they don't use them.
We had a meeting and that was their recommendation to us, that they just use it.
Well, you tell them that I tripped over those wires, and if I tripped, somebody else did.
No, they're saying
Remove them,
remove them.
you know why.
Yeah.
So you want to remove those and you don't want to put spotlights up, then that's up to you. Okay, that's fine, but I just want to make sure that we don't see those all the time. Because in the old days, we used to have John, you'll remember, we have a senior citizen presentation for the play. Now that the pandemic is winding down, maybe that will come back. I wouldn't want to see them walking by and tripping over wire. So when they come into the auditorium to see that, the dress rehearsal is usually for our senior citizens held on a Wednesday afternoon. Okay, so if they don't need it and you don't need spotlights, well, God bless you, then you don't need them. But it's one or the other. Either we put them in or you get rid of the scaffoldings.
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that's pretty much the list of ongoing projects. I don't know if there's any questions on the capital plan. I think we kind of better do that with the board.
Just one more.
Yeah.
Wellness Fitness Center, 35,000 in progress. I heard they were gonna up that for the architect.
Right now in the bonding request, it's $100,000 this year bonding.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Liz, I'm good.
So the only other thing I wanted to bring up, that was brought up in the meeting, like some of the sidewalks and stuff on January, is that part of this or that's not part of this?
The sidewalks, yeah.
Yeah, like that, I know that people were, somebody broke the wrist on the ice tumble, but I don't know if it was the ice or a sidewalk thing. And then Jane Ryan, like, fumbling around there, and I can tell you my own son tripped there yesterday. Fell on his tailbone.
The Jane Ryan pavement, the parking lot work is planned for this summer. I
This
believe.
summer? Okay.
It's on this year's capital bond request. If that money comes through, then Bill Mauer knows that, it's a priority with us.
Okay.
And that's a town engineer project.
Yes, thank you. I just want to make sure that we're on it. Chris, do you have any questions before we move on?
I don't, thank you though.
Okay, moving on. So new business. I don't have any new business. Anybody have any new business? You guys have new business?
No, I don't.
No new business? Okay, do you guys want to set continuous meeting dates? Like, do you want to just say like the meeting, how often does this committee normally meet?
When do we need it? You tell us when
I
we
think
need it.
this meeting is occurring every 3 months, so once a quarter.
Is that okay?
That's fine with us.
Okay, so as long as, like, if we try to schedule it the same week as the Board of Ed meeting, just to keep everything together, like, this was good that we had the Board of Ed and we had this.
Yeah. Deb, what's the next meeting update for this? So in 3 months, it would be February, March, April, May?
Yeah, it would be May.
May what? Deb?
Okay, so I can tell you when and then I can email you when that week.
Maybe we do
Works,
that.
'cause then
We could
people are
11,
here.
12, so-
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yes.
And you say what's good for you too. You know, whatever works for you guys.
Or-
Okay, so I guess that's it. Need a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that
Chris, are
motion.
you there?
Yep, I'll second that motion.
Must be muted, it could be muted.
Could be muted. All right, you can second.
Okay, I'm gonna second it, Chris. I second adjournment.
Okay,
Meeting adjourned.
thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.